Okay.
So 34 with PAMBI clearance and no ECC. 53 are without PAMBI clearance and no ECC.
So anong balak niyo po dito sa wala pang clearance? In the first place, ba't sila pinayagan na tumayo doon? Sana, hanggat hindi po sila nakakuha ng permit, ng ECC permit, hindi dapat sila pinapayagan magpatayo ng struktura doon. Kaya nga binanggit mo kanina, monitoring, wala kayong ginagawang proper monitoring.
We are going to issue notices of violation.
Notices of violation?
Yes.
Hanggang doon lang po?
Sa walang mga PAMBI clearance, mag-issue po kami ng mga...
Teka muna. So, issue of notice of violation.
Yes po.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Red?
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning to our honorable senators. Your Honor, per our latest update, there are a total of 96 establishments within MANPI, and 3 are with complete, it's with PAMBI clearance, ECC, and SAPA, sir. And with PAMBI clearance and with ECC, there are 6 establishments.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
But there are 57 structures na walang ECC, and 32 ay pinoprocess pa lamang yung kanilang ECC. So what is your plan about these structures na walang ECC and they're within the protected area?
Yes,
Madam
sir.
Chair, with your indulgence, Senator, maybe present the full presentation on Mount Apo so you will see the details and the ways forward, Madam Chair, Senator.
No, yes ma'am, I understand. Pero sa akin gusto ko lang sana direct to the point na muna so dun sa question ko kasi mapapahaba pa tayo eh. Yun lang po ang tanong ko, bakit po pinayagan na alam naman natin protected area yon, pinayagan nyo pa rin patuloy magpatayo ng mga struktura doon at patuloy pa rin po kayo nagpo-process ng mga ECC permit knowing na protected area yon at bawal na doon at meron po tayong mapa. Bakit po?
Yes, Your Honor. It was just, we strengthened our conduct of monitoring and inventory sometime in 2018 and 2019, and these establishments were discovered. And so these establishments applied for PAMBI clearance with the PAMBI. So they were also given clearance, and then they were encouraged to then apply for ECC.
Yeah, nabigyan kasi ng clearance ng PAMBI, pero alam naman po natin within the protected area yan, at alam naman natin na dapat wala sila doon, and yet we continue entertaining their application and saying that it's in process. So ibig sabihin may balak tayong bigyan pa sila. So parami para makabuti po nagsulputan itong mga illegal structures doon po sa Mount Apo. At kapag kami po ay magtawag sa inyo sa DNR, nagtuturoan po kayo. Yung pong masakit eh, di ba? You're supposed to be tinatawag nating tagabantay ng ating kalikasan, pero parang bantay sa lakay po dating nyo dito. So what are your plans with pertaining to these structures na walang ECC at itong mga structures na pinoprocess pa lang ECC?
There are 53 latest update, Your Honor.
57. 57.
Sir, may ECC na po yung iba. Apo.
Okay.
So, 34 with PAMBI clearance and no ECC. 53 are without PAMBI clearance and no ECC.
So anong balak niyo po dito sa wala pang clearance? At
we
walang
have,
ECC at alam niyo po na bawal, dapat wala sila doon. So anong plano?
Yes.
Kasi we were told na bigyan daw ng 2 years. Sabi po ng DNR, bibigyan daw po ng 2 years palugit itong mga walang ECC to continue to operate. Ang binigay at ang rason para makabawi daw doon sa kanilang tinayo, sa kanilang investment. In the first place, ba't sila pinayagan na tumayo doon? Sana, hanggat hindi po sila nakakuha ng permit, ng ECC permit, hindi dapat sila pinapayagan magpatayo ng struktura doon. Kaya nga binanggit mo kanina, monitoring, wala kayong ginagawang proper monitoring.
sir, to answer the question as to what do we do with those without ECC, we are going to issue notices of violation.
Notices of violation?
Yes.
Hanggang doon lang po?
Sa walang mga PAMBI clearance, mag-issue po kami ng mga...
Teka muna. So, issue of notice of violation?
Yes po.
Okay. So, hanggang doon lang. Notice of violation. And then what, ma'am?
And then they will be called for a technical conference. And if for the conduct of case built up. But if they can explain properly, or if it is deemed that the project is not detrimental to the environment, they can be issued ECC.
Ma'am,
Place, dapat hindi napatayo yun. Oh. I think your problem, Secretary Loizaga, your regional is very poor, or walang concern sa ginagawa nyo. I think the regional is kasi pag pinag-report mo sila ng pinag-report, yung report nila nakakatawa eh. Bakit mo pababayaan na walang ECC at walang PAMBI tatayo? Oh. So
diba,
you're not watching over it.
Di ba sabi mo kanina, meron kayo ginagawa monitoring dito sa mga struktura na itinatayo sa mga protected areas. Okay, kung meron kayong ginagawa monitoring, dapat itong 57 na structures na nakatayo na ngayon doon, hindi dapat nangyari ito. Dapat napigilan to. Ang ginawa nyo, pinayagan nyo magpatayo dyan, and then pinoprocess nyo while processing their application. Dapat mag-apply muna sila, once na-approve na application nila, saka pa lang sila magpatayo ng struktura. Yun po dapat ang patakaran. Yun po yung standard. Ang nangyari, pinapayagan nyo na magtayo dyan, and siguro, alam mo na ang dahilan. Sa magkano kadahilanan, siguro po, ang katanungan ko doon, follow up.
With your indulgence, Madam Chair, can I say something po regarding Mount Apo? Just to answer the query of the good senator.
Kasi parang wala silang pakialam. Tumayo ka ng tumayo dyan. Kahit walang ECC, walang PAMBI, wala silang pakialam. You cannot do that. You cannot do that.
Dati rin siya, Madam Chair, na red doon sa 11, kaya pwede rin siyang sumagot.
Madam Chair, sir, just to go on further, the Red Dumagan was saying, actually po, the region issued 57 show-cause orders already and 24 notice violations and 7 cease and desist orders.
To build. Kasi pag na-allow mo ng to build, mahirap nang tanggalin. Yun
Correct.
ang problema.
Madam Chair, we agree.
Dapat kayo, hindi nyo ina-allow to build. Kasi pag nag-build na yan, tell it to the Marines. Napakahirap magtanggal niyan. Walang gagawa niyan.
Yusek Fragada.
Yes, sir.
Meron kayong monitoring team kung tawagin. Ano pong tawag sa monitoring team nyo? Can you give me the
Sir,
exact
it's
name?
through the Protected Area Management Office po. Meron po sila.
Ano tawag?
PAMO Office po.
PAMO Office.
Yes,
What
and-
does PAMO stands for?
Protected Area Management Office.
Okay, sila sa
all the
monitoring.
Yes, sir.
So, kailangan itong mga taga-PAMO na may jurisdiction sa Mount Apo, pagsisibakin mo. Totoo, hindi ako nagbibiro. Dahil kapag hindi mo pagsisibakin yan, pagdududahan ng mga tao, hanggang sa kataas-taasan, tumatanggap din.
Yes, Your Honor.
Prove to us na malinis kayo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Na protector talaga kayo ng environment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kasi tama nga naman sinasabi din ni Senator Cynthia na in the first place, hindi niya sana pinayagan yun na makapagpatayo yan. Sinasabi kanina, papaulit-ulit, kailangan permit muna bago structure. Dito, nangyari, structure muna saka mag-apply ng permit. Tapos in process pa yung permit, etc. O ngayon, 57. Paano pa ito pasasara itong 57 ito? At sinabihan kami na give them 2 years daw.
We agree, Your Honor, with your recommendation. One of the problems actually, and we'd like to recommend to the Senate to help us with this, nabanggit niyo po yung constitution ng PAMO office. For Mount Apo per se, we only have around 1 plantilla officer there and around maybe 30 job orders po na umiikot over
So, ibig sabihin po, 31 ang
62,000.
empleyado niyo sa monitoring.
Po 62 over, they have to monitor 62,000 hectares of Mount Apo po. So that's one of the areas we'd like to recommend na matulungan po kami ng Senado
Sir,
to increase
there's such
our
thing as
people.
drone. Pwede mo lang kayo gumamit ng drone para ma-monitor yung the whole area kahit na ilang hektarya pa yan, kahit na thousands of hectares yan. Kung gusto maraming paraan, kung ayaw maraming dahilan, di po ba?
Yes, sir. Actually po, this year, because of the budget, would increase the budget on the drones were increased para nga po
Sir,
further ma-monitor.
Sir, we were not born yesterday. All of us were not born yesterday here. Alam ng DNR na itong 57 na mga illegal structures na tinayo doon ay hindi dapat naroon. Pinayagan nila, sabi kanina, sa magkanong kadahilanan. Dahil kapag hindi sila ay diretso lamang, hindi sana natayo ito mga structures na ito. Ngayon, mahirapan kayo patanggal to. Nakatayo na Di po ba?
Yes,
so
sir.
sabi ko, yung mga taga-PAMO nyo, sir, disiplinahin nyo yun. Dahil sigurado ako, kasabwat yun ng mga nagpatayo ng illegal structures.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. We will do that.
Salamat, Madam Chair.
Na ang regional nila.
Can
Can we now go on with the presentation of Mount Apo? So one of the findings is mahina ang regional office, di ba? Kasi we're listing our findings, di ba? So that if we are going to make changes, we know what to make changes. Meron problema ang regional office.
Madam Chair, kasi katulad na nabanggit na parang, well, kulang talaga naman yung personnel ng DNR. But with the use of technology, hindi ho ba dapat hindi na excuse yung kakulangan ng tao, di ba? Sen. Rafi, alam naman natin may drone. Yung reach ng drone napakalawak at hindi naman kailangan madaming tao yung nag-ooperate ng drone. Are we already starting to use technology in monitoring our protected areas?
Madam Chair, if I may?
Yeah.
By virtue of this year's budget and the transfer of 1.2 billion from the NGP to the protected areas through the initiation of Madam Chair, we are establishing drone teams for the protected areas specifically. Previously, these were only being used in FMB, the Forest Management Bureau. But because of the new budget that we have, we are in the process of procurement of the specific drone teams, including the actual technology and the personnel, ma'am, that will be actually trained to operate this. These are fixed wing, they're longer range, they are not the small drones that are normally assumed. And so that is what we have actually been able to secure in this year's 2024 budget.
With the presentation of Mount Apo, you said you have a presentation.
Okay, with the permission of the Honorable Chair, we'd like to make a presentation on the Mount Apo Natural Park. Please, next slide. This is the outline of our presentation, the map of the Mount Apo Natural Park, including the political boundaries, the management zones, areas covered by CAD-T and CAD-C, the operating establishments, and actions taken. Next. Mount Apo is a legislated protected area by virtue of Republic Act 9237 or the Mount Apo Protected Area Act of 2003. It has a total area of 64,053 hectares. It is covered by two regions, Regions 11 and Region 12. We have 7 municipalities and 44 barangays. For our PAMBI composition, we have 92 members. Region 11 has 81% coverage of MANPI, while 19% is within Region 12.
There. Dito sa binigay mong hectarage, ang buffer zone is 6,000, ang multiple use zone is 24,000, ang strict protected zone is 30,000. Ang laki ng multiple use zone na yun ang tinayuan ng mga bakit ang laki-laki noon? Kasi ang laki ng protected. Bakit nyo pa dineclare na protected area yun kung multiple use zone lang yun? Magkasin laki sila halos.
This was pursuant to the land cover, and this was per guidelines to in classification of the
ang multipurpose zone
legislation.
Meron nga ngayon lang ako nakarinig ng ganito.
It depends on the...
Ang laki ng multi-use zone
Ano pa dapat yung percentage ng multiple use zone?
There's no specific percentage pa provided.
But I'm sure dapat meron ng minimum.
Madam Chair, may we turn over to our OIC for Biodiversity Management Bureau. He will indicate ASEC Mars Amaro.
Madam Chair, Your Honors,
Yeah.
fellow workers in the government, good morning. There is no specific provision under our existing guidelines on what would be the percentage of the multiple use zone and the strict protection zone.
So you mean to say, pwede yung 80% yung multi-purpose zone, tapos yung strict zone is 20%?
Yes.
Dito, halos
If I have to cite the case of the Chocolate Hills, it is 98% alienable or disposable. So basically, we expect existing structures, establishments, town centers, and you cannot use and declare these areas as strict protection zones. So we have recognized. So it is on a case-to-case basis per PA. But as I mentioned, we have in the IRR of the Inay Pass categories such as 4 strict protection zones, those with natural vegetation of representative of any of the ecosystem types, habitats of endemic and threatened species, areas prone to natural and man-made hazards, areas set aside. So we have all this being looked into and guiding the PAMBI.
But this one is 1/2 is multipurpose zone.
That's right, ma'am.
Madam Chair, so parang ang dating nag-declare pa tayo.
Ba't pa dineclare?
I guess, if I may, as I've mentioned, we will have to look into the history of the many proclamations that have happened before the enactment of the Inay Pass. Yeah, it's in the presentation,
Yeah,
ma'am.
but it's very clear. Unang presentation pa lang, questionable
Yes, ma'am.
na eh. Kasi kalahati multipurpose zone. So what kind of protected area is that? Kalahati, multipurpose zone?
Madam Chair, hindi kaya prangkahin na lang natin. Dineclare ninyo na multiple use zone yung areas na maraming settled, may mga tao na ba? Area. Yun ang dineclare nyo na multiple use zone. That's the prime consideration of declaring that. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor. If I
So
may,
yung pala.
for multiple use zone, I just mentioned yung strict protection zone.
Kasi yung Mount Apo, wala pa yung NIPAS law. Andyan na yung tao dyan, ilang generation na yung tao nakatira dyan. So yung nag-declare kayo ng protected area, kinonsider, kaya classify ninyo as multiple use zone, yung lugar, lang kapatagan area na may mga tao na nakatira. Ganun. Di ba?
Yes, Madam
So
Chair.
yun pala main consideration. Maraming tao nakatira, mas malaki ang multiple use zone.
How can
Parang ganun.
Yeah.
you tell me how you control if kalahati ng area punong-puno ng tao? How can you control that?
Madam
Actually,
Chair, siguro maganda hong tanongin, doon ba sa multiple use zone, halos lahat yan na-occupy ng tao? Yang that half is already occupied?
Okay, we proceed.
There are dwellings, structures, and farm lots, Your Honor.
Okay lang yung farm lots, pero yung
Barangay. May barangay ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
ilan ang farm? Ilan ang farm dyan? Ilan ang farm? Para kasi kung agriculture, pwedeng ipasa yun eh. Pero, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, may I proceed?
Okay, you go.
Okay, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I would like to show you the historical or legal basis on the proclamation of Mount Apo. To start with, in 1936, next slide, please. In 1936, President Manuel Quezon declared Mount Apo as a national park. In 1957, President Carlos Garcia released 3,946 hectares for agricultural purposes. In 1965, President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. released 140.41 hectares again for agricultural purposes. In 1965, President Marcos Sr. Declared 39,050 hectares as timber forest for logging. And then in 1966, President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. revoked Presidential Proclamation number 507-A. And in 1971, Republic Act number 6210, which is the act creating Barrio Kapatagan in the municipality of Digos, province of Davao del Sur. In 1983, President Marcos Sr. declared 44,771 hectares as alienable and disposable. In 1986, President Corazon Aquino reverted the alienable and disposable portion back to the protected area. In January 30, 1992, President Corazon Aquino excluded 701 hectares in Kidapawan for geothermal reservation. In 1996, President Fidel Ramos declared 72,112.59 as the area covered by the Mount Apo Natural Park. And then President Gloria M. Arroyo issued Republic Act 9237 or the Mount Apo Protected Area Act of 2003 in February 3, 2004 with 64,053 hectares as the total area of the Mount Apo Natural Park. Next slide, please. May we also mention that 96% of the park is covered by ancestral domain title or claim. With the three major tribes, the Tagabawa, Bagobo Tagabawa, the Manobo, and the Jangan or Bagobo Klata. Next slide. So we have here our conduct of our protected area occupants. It is still ongoing. For Region 11, there are 18,013 occupants. For Region 12, 13,506, of which 20,000 are mostly tenured occupants. Next slide, please. For the inventory of structures, in Mount Apo Natural Park, we have small structures. We have sari-sari stores, small dwellings, houses, for a total of 8,060. And we have the resorts. We have 93 resorts. We have government-owned structures like schools, barangay halls, gymnasiums, provincial clinics, barangay clinics, for a total of 49. We have 21 churches. We have energy production facility, the EDC and HEDCOR, with approved SAPA already, 3. And our banana growers, who are also SAPA applicants, 108 for a total of 8,366.
Ma'am, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Sinabi mong banana growers, SAPA applicants, meaning wala pa silang SAPA?
Wala pa, sir.
Ongoing yung pag-apply nila?
Ongoing pa, sir.
Ilang taon na silang ongoing?
They applied last 2022.
2000?
They have public clearance now and ECC, sir.
Bago lang yung SAPA na requirement?
Yes, po.
Nandyan na yung sagingan na yan, wala pa yung SAPA requirement, then wala pa yung INIPAS Act.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Thank you. Salamat.
Okay, for the establishments, for their status of compliance, we have 3 complete with PAMB clearance, ECC and SAPA, 6 with PAMB and with ECC, with PAMB clearance and no ECC, 34, without PAMB clearance and no ECC, 53, for a total of 96. So,
Question.
may we just, yes, ma'am.
Can you go back dun sa ano? Dun sa, kasi di ba parang ang total number of structures is 8,366?
Yes, ma'am.
Ano yung 96?
The 96 are the resorts to include HEDCOR and EDC structures.
Ang wala pang ano?
No, HEDCOR
Sila lang ang nag-apply?
HEDCOR and EDC have SAPAS already, ma'am.
Oo. So ang kasama dun sa establishments with MANP are just the resorts and the energy production facility?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
For our inventory of structures, these are the resorts mentioned during the privilege speech of the Honorable Senator Tulfo. For the Montefrio Resort, they have their PAMB clearance issued last 2019 and their ECC issued last 2021. The Twin Mountain View Resort with PAMB clearance issued last 2022 and their ECC issued last 2023. The Villa Recurso, PAMB clearance issued last 2022 but no ECC yet.
Question. Ito mga resort 2 na to, Kailan sila natayo?
I believe during the pandemic, I think they started 2019. That's the time when we get to monitor and conduct inventory on the structures.
So, for example, si Montefrio Resort, meron siyang PAMB. Nung nag-apply siya ng PAMB resolution, wala pa siyang structure that time?
Ongoing, I think it started as a private resort, private rest house, and they expanded to a resort. So I think...
Wait, so nung private rest house siya, meron ba siyang clearance to be a private resort?
None, Your Honor.
So may violation na siya to begin with. Tapos binigyan niya pa rin ng permit?
It
So
was
parang
the...
yung mali, kinorek nyo by giving them a permit.
May we mention also that these resorts are within the multiple use zone, Your Honor?
Regardless, but they...
Ha? Ikaw
Yes,
ang head?
I am the
Ikaw
OIC
ang nagbigay
regional.
ng permit na yan?
No, Your Honor.
Sino?
It was not yet
Sino?
I reported 2023, I think the... Ma'am, are you asking for the regional executive director during that time, ma'am?
Kung sino nagbigay ng permit?
The permit was the ECC, ma'am, or the PAMB clearance? For the PAMB clearance, it was the PAMB. For the ECC, it was the EMB. EMB, ang ECC po, director.
Secretary, for example, this case, itong Montefrio Resort. So, it was a private resort. So, paano siya natayo as a private resort? And then, nag-apply siya para maging open to the public na resort. When, to begin with, parang may violation na siya sa umpisa pa lang.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, for that question. If I may refer to the LGU to also provide information that is needed, because any structure that will be built requires a building permit. As in the case of the Captain's Peak, they were given a building permit without an ECC.
But
So
you're
it's not-
supposed to protect... area. We have no more protected area. From my experience,
Thank you.
Kaya hindi kayo dapat kasali doon sa mga local na yun. And don't allow them to give permit. Inyo yan Primary responsibility nyo yung protected area. Why are you allowing the local? Ako, pag inalaw namin sa Las Piñas, Parañaque Wetland Park yung local, tapos na yung Las Piñas, Parañaque Wetland Park. Wala na yun. Wala na yun. Wala na yun.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If I may just point out, these were all basically ongoing before my administration, and so we are dealing with what is on the ground now.
To
Yes,
tell
Madam Chair.
that DNR, yun ang palagi ko sinasabi sa DNR, when you're not about protecting the environment, don't join DNR. Join DTI. Because DTI is the one promoting business. But if you are with DNR, you're supposed to protect the environment. So if you want to make money, join DTI. Don't join DNR.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Pwede makasingit. Napapansin ko kanina pa, mahilig kayo dito magturuan. Kundi magturuan, maghugas ng kamay. Ang pinakalas, sinabi niyo po, Secretary Loizaga, it was before your term, okay? Sige, granting gano'n na nga. Now, ikaw na nakaupo at alam mo may mga violation, correct it. Wag no, don't blame other people. Don't blame the previous administration.
Very respectfully, sir, I am not blaming anyone. I am acknowledging the facts as they are on the ground when I assumed office.
Exactly.
And this is why I have begun to institute these investigations, and we have suspended the power of the region to actually issue ECCs.
Kasi ang sinabi niyo po kanina, Madam Secretary, na ang nag-issue ng building permit ay yung LGU. Right?
That is the reality on
Correct.
the ground, sir.
Exactly. I know that. BPLO, okay? Kasama pa rin dyan, magbibigay ng permit kung kinakailangan. Now, kayo bilang taga-monitor ng environment sa DNR, you should have monitored that nakarating sa inyong kaalaman na bawal yan, you should have coordinated with the LGU and tell the LGU dahil may tinatawag din na Senro, bawal dyan kasi protected area yan. Dapat hindi nyo binigyan ng building permit yan in the first place. That's part of your monitoring.
Thank you very much, sir. And all these investigations have surfaced, in fact, these facts. We are being very careful as far as establishing whose responsibility and authorities were put in line during the process of the construction of these particular structures. We cannot just point fingers, as you said. We have to acknowledge that the investigation and the evidence need to be quite thorough. And that's what we're doing now, respectfully, sir, if I may. At this point, we cannot establish the exact facts during the time that these constructions actually occurred. Even Red Dumagan was not the red during that time. And therefore, we are actually constituting now and actually constructing now these events in order for us to take the appropriate action. So your recommendations, sir, are very well taken. I would just like to humbly represent that we are not pointing fingers here. We are acknowledging the facts on the ground. We are acknowledging the gaps in the law. And we are acknowledging also the possible gaps in our implementation, having seen that, in fact, these structures were erected even if these are in protected areas. I think, sir, at this point, and Madam Chair, with your indulgence, it's really important for us to understand the circumstances behind these actual constructions. We are not fully in control of these areas, as you know, given the kind of manpower that we have. The local governments are partners in the protection of the environment. This is not the DNR's sole job. This is the job of the DNR.
You did mention na kayo ay partners ng LGU.
Yes.
In protecting the environment. So, ba't wala kayo bang ginagawang coordination sa LGU na each time may magpapatayo, kukuha ng permit para, building permit para magpatayo sa isang protected area, dapat kinukonsulta kayo? Dumadaan muna sa inyo? Wala bang ganong klaseng coordination?
Thank you very much, sir. In fact, that is what we're doing at this point. I've also had very close coordination with Secretary Ben-Hur Abalos. We are going to try to produce the process that is required in order for, in fact, this to be stopped at the inception rather than the corrective measures that we are having to take now. So between the DLG and ourselves and the DOT, because ecotourism is such a big part of, in fact, this actual activity, we are now coordinating very closely, and we have recommendations on the process as well as the constitution and function of the PAMB that will be submitted as part of our position paper, sir.
Kasi yung BPLO or yung LGU, bago sila magbigay ng building permit, meron tinatawag na zoning, right? Tama? At dun sa zoning, malalaman kung anong area yan, whether that area is protected, whether that area ay hindi dapat patayuan o pwedeng patayuan. Then, proper coordination with the LGU, you should know, malalaman mo kung ano yung mga areas na dapat hindi na pinatayuan ng building, na dapat yung LGU may coordination din sa inyo para mutually masasabi nyo na hindi pwede dyan, or pwede dyan, okay dyan. So sa nakikita ko po kasi marami na napatay na struktura at sinasabi nyo nga, okay, sige, hindi nyo po control yon, control po ng LGU. Pero kung meron kayong proper coordination, hindi sana napatay yung building na yon through proper coordination with the LGU.
Respectfully, sir, I agree with you, and therefore the coordination needs to be made more effective. I also recognize the point of Madam Chair on the difficulty regarding local dynamics and the pressures that we faced in this type of activities. If I may also, sir, I think that we need to acknowledge that in some of these areas, there are titles, alienable and disposable lands that are already with title. And therefore, we have no option but to recognize the rights and have that regulation be part of the LGU and DNR coordination, as you have suggested, sir.
Madam Chair, siguro itong Twin Mountain View Resort, natayo na ba itong structure na to before nabigyan ng PAMB tsaka ECC? The second resort?
Yes, Your Honor.
So natayo na din siya?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I would assume ikaw na nagbigay ng permit because this was given November 10, 2022.
No, PAMB clearance is 2022. The ECC 2023, this was issued by our EMB, Your Honor.
So, not you?
Not me,
you?
Your Honor.
Pero kasi, katulad na ito, it's not the previous government. This was done 2022. Same issue, natayo na yung, bakit hindi yung naging ruling was to demolish the structure? Bakit ang naging ano is to give the PAMB and the ECC? When to begin with, may violation na siya, ha? Kasi natayo niya na wala siyang PAMB, wala siyang ECC. So bakit hindi niya na lang right there and then inisyuhan sila ng, ano ba yan? To demolish the structure. Kasi they already violated.
Your Honor, it was the PAMI which granted the clearance, but our EMB called them for technical conference and penalized them, Your Honor.
And what was the penalty?
They were made to pay, I think, 50,000.
Hindi. So bakit hindi nyo naisip na ang ibigay na penalty to demolish? Why not use that option?
The process, Madam Chair and Honorable Senator, no, the process is they have to secure PAMB clearance. First, we have
Yeah,
to
pero
be very
Isek,
clear.
wala hong PAMB clearance sa tayo eh. I mean, it's a fact. Natayo yung structure, walang PAMB clearance, walang ECC.
In this case, this would fall under prohibited acts, no? And the law says, like mutilation, alteration, defacing, construction of the law provides penalty for those acts, no? 50 from 50,000 to
hindi yung penalty, hindi option nyo to issue
and rehab the area that they have defaced and mutilated.
Pag PAMB, we can understand because there are local government in PAMB. But ECC, completely DNR yan. Ha? So, wag nyo ipalusot yan. Pati kayo kasali. Pag nag-issue ng ECC, kasali ang DNR. Pwede nyo pa ipalusot yung PAMB, may local government doon. But ECC, kayo lang yan. Walang nag-i-issue ng ECC kundi ang DNR. So, kasalanan niya ng DNR. Sa amin, ang nag-issue ng ECC sa reclamation, DNR. Oh.
Di ba po kasi Yusek, parang kaya hindi rin nga sila natatakot? Kasi alam nila, magbabayad lang naman kami ng 50,000 pesos eh. Kasi you've never used that option na i-demolish yung property. Kasi nga, clearly, they're already in violation of the law.
Yeah, but that's what the law provides, no? Finding
talaga ang DNR. Kasali kayo.
The prohibited act.
Huwag niyo
Merong
sabihin na
corresponding
hindi
penalty.
kayo kasali. Talagang kasali kayo. Sa amin, lahat kayo kasali. Huwag niyo nang sabihin hindi kayo kasali dyan. You agreed with the local government. Kasabuat kayo. Hindi mai-issue ang ECC without DNR. Talagang DNR ang nag-i-issue ng ECC.
Bakit naghugas kami na naman, Madam Chair?
Ano?
Naghugas kami na naman?
Hindi, ang ECC talaga DNR. Ang PAMB, combination ng local yan at saka DNR. Pwede pa silang lumusot dyan. Katulad noon, ang nag-issue, mga barangay captain, oo. Pero yung ECC, hindi pwedeng issue yun ng hindi DNR.
As a follow-up dun sa sinabi ni Senator Cynthia, it makes sense na, or it doesn't make sense na yung bang building na illegal ang pagkatayo ay mumultahan nyo ng 50,000 versus dapat pinatanggal nyo na lang. Pinademolish nyo na lang. Di ba?
Kasi kung susundin natin sa Rafi, yung mga pending na wala pang permit, parang ang direksyon niya, magkakaroon din siya ng permit.
Ito mga pending, bibigyan nyo lang ng, sinabi naman kanina ni I'm sorry, yung taga-region, pending pero eventually magkakaroon ng permit after certain compliance, kung ano pa man yung compliance na yon. Pero the fact of the matter remains na illegal ang pagtatayo nila doon. So mangyari, mumultahan nyo lang ng 50,000 and then after na makapagbayad ng 50,000 and then igugo nyo na. Dapat, nung makita nyo na illegal yung structure na yun, pinademolish na lang. kaysa naman pagbayarin ng 50,000 and then i-go later on.
Madam Chair, no, if I may, what the law mandates us to do upon the passage of the INAI pass is inventory existing structures, and then there should be determination if they are detrimental to the spirit of the proclamation or law, making it protected area.
Ako, I can
And then-
understand kung yung A&D, mga agricultural land, I can understand that. But magpapagawa kayo ng mga resort, that's another one. You should ask them to build the resort outside of the protected area on the way to the protected area. They should not build it in the protected area. Ako, I can understand kung ang paggagawa nyo yung mga nakatira doon, mag-agriculture sila. Kasi yung agriculture, mas bagay sa protected area. Magtatanim sila. Okay lang yon. Pero building resort, i-issuehan nyo ng ECC in a protected area. That's really something, ha? And ang ECC talagang DNR lang yan. Hindi yan local government. I can understand pa yung PAMBI. Pero dito, you have to have PAMBI resolution and ECC. Kung ibinigay ng PAMBI yung kanilang resolution, huwag nyo ibigay ang ECC. Because that's your responsibility. Ngayon, kung gusto nila, kung magtatanim, okay lang sa akin yun kasi bagay yun, di ba? Sa protected area na taniman natin. Pero yung lalagyan mo ng mga hotel, mga kung ano-ano, sabihin nyo sa kanila, mag-build sila outside the protected area on the way to the protected area. Kasi kikita din sila dun eh. O, kikita lang sila dun. Yung mga lupa on the way to the protected area, but not on the protected area. Kasi yung protected area, ba't pa natin dineclare na protected area tapos gagawin nating hanap buhay?
Hindi, Madam Chair, hindi na rin sila interesado mag-build ng mga resort outside of the protected area realistically. Dahil wala na mapupunta doon sa outside the protected area dahil ang malamig na lugar, na klima, nandoon sa protected area. Nandoon yung pupunta mga turista, kaya doon sila nagbibuild.
Natin declare na protected area, gawin na lang nating negosyo.
Yun nga.
We're just pretending.
Ma'am, if I may.
Ako naman, if you don't want to declare it as a protected area, it's okay with me. Kaya lang, pag na-declare na protected area, we have to protect. Diba? Ngayon, kung yung hindi natin mapigil ang local, issue nila yung PAMBI. But the ECC, hindi kompleto. So we have a case against them because walang ECC.
Madam Chair, pwede yung DNR kung may power ba kayo to dismantle? Nakita nyo na kung demolish yung kagad. Kaya yung gawin yan?
Ito po nasa batas.
Nasa batas?
Your Honor. Ang nasa batas, sinabi niya, kung kailangan ang secretary paalisin, we have to go to court and get a writ.
Ha?
Nandun po sa batas po.
Hindi, right away nakita din yun na unauthorized structure yan. Walang ECC, walang PAMBI, walang SAPA o anong requirement. Tanggalin nyo yan. Hindi pwede ganun?
Ganito po. Pagka merong allowable activities within multiple use zone, no?
Yes.
Kaya karamihan nga pala na nadideklara na multiple use zone. Kanina binabasa po ni Asik Marsh yung characteristics noon. Kaya more often than not, ang natitira, kakaunti na lang talaga yung strict protection zone. Ando na po sila, ma'am. No? That's why the law
pero
calls for...
balikan ho natin, Yusek, you're modeling the issue. For example, this resort, yung Twin Mountain, di naman to dati nandyan, di ba? Pero binigyan niya pa rin ng permit.
Ma'am, if I may.
Matagal na ba yung resort na yan dyan?
Madam, just to answer your question whether we allow development in protected areas, the answer is it depends. Ang DNR po nag-i-issue ng ECC sa mga development, vertical or horizontal development, pero dapat po may dalawang condition. Number one, we can issue development if the area is a multiple use zone. It is indicated in the law. The second one is that if the activity is consistent with the project protected area management plan. If the activity will not be consistent with the project protected area management plan, then the ECC will not be issued. In the case of in these illegal structures, nakita po natin na mga resort, talagang hindi naman po talaga consistent yon. So that's the reason why we're looking at it. Na-interview na po ang DNR. Talagang kailangan po matanggal dyan yan. Kaya lang ang proseso po natin, the DNR has no power to immediately demolish like what we have experienced in Boracay Island. Most of the areas in Boracay Islands are located in a forest land. So talagang illegal po yun nandun. Kaya lang hindi po namin siya magawa dahil kailangan po pumunta kami sa court.
Wait, pero nagawa. Nalinis ang Boracay, di ba? We have to give credit kay President Duterte.
That's correct.
Kasi talagang nagkaroon siya ng, talagang pinaglaban niya na ma-rehabilitate yung Boracay. At lahat naman sumunod, di ba? So kung gusto, kayang gawin.
Ang nangyari po sa Boracay, dun sa mga areas na kaya natin, katulong po natin yung local government na nag-demolish. Pero DNR alone, under the existing law, we don't have the power, Madam Senator, to immediately demolish, and we need to go to court.
Yeah, but you've never exercised the option to demolish eh. The mere fact na binigyan nyo, penalty nyo na nga lang ng 50,000 eh. Ilang beses nyo in-exercise yung portion, yung power nyo to demolish?
At pwede rin makadagdag, Senator, Ma'am, okay, kapag halimbawa yung isang illegal structure within the protected area, dinemolish nyo, madidimanda ba kayo? Alam nyo na kayo nasa tama, alam nyo na may batas na dapat hindi siya nagpatayo. Halimbawa yung isang negosyo, hindi dapat nagpatayo dyan ng struktura, wala siyang ECC, marami siyang violation, etc. Kapag dinemolish nyo yan, madidimanda ba kayo? Makukulong ba kayo? Matatanggal ba kayo sa pwesto ninyo?
Kung madidimanda, sir, Madam Chairman, yes, madidimanda.
Madidimanda kayo?
Madidimanda po.
At matatanggal ka sa trabaho?
I'll take the Boracay as example. I've faced several cases. Kami po yung nagpatanggal. Ang tutunan, kaya napadali po yung Boracay. Yung Municipality of Malay, meron po siyang ordinansa. Pero that only pertains to the beach area. Those, they have this so-called 25+5 ordinance. Ang requirement lang po doon, kailangan ng notice, isyuhan nila ng notice, in 10 days pag walang ginawa, they can summarily demolish. So, pumasok kami with DPWH, napadali po.
So, pwede pala?
Pwede po. Pwede.
So, basta't may proseso lang. After 10 days...
Pagka mayroon pong ordinansa in the case of Boracay,
kaya nga.
In other areas, in fact, there are areas in Boracay that we were not able to do that. Those structures in the forest land, we went to court for the demolition of those structures. Some are still pending.
Pero di ba parang masakit yun na alam nyo na illegal yung pagtayo ng struktura dyan, meron silang binayolate na batas natin dahil protected area yan, and yet all you can do right away or for the meantime is mumultahan ng 50,000 and then pupunta sa korte, which is mahaba yung proseso, tama? Sometimes it will take years bago mag-grant yung request nyo ng korte, tama? Whereas yung nangyari sa Boracay, napakabilis. Agad-agad na maraming na-demolish.
Tama po. In fact, in our position paper, meron po kaming in-include na baka magkaroon kami ng summary authority, an authority to summarily demolish areas, no? Structures in protected areas, gagawin po namin.
So are you saying na kailangan ng legislation for that? Para
yes po, kasi ang
magkaroon ka ng outright authority.
Sa batas mismo, sinabi po, we have to go to court po.
Okay.
Madam Chair, with the indulgence of Senator Tolpo, yung sabi mo, attorney, na equip kayo ng yung city municipal ordinance, yung lugar ng sa Boracay, kaya napabilis.
Opo.
So,
yes, Your Honor.
In the case of Mount Apo, andito man ang mayor ng Digos, andito yung mayor ng Kidapawan, baka pwede natin silang pakiusapan din na maggawa rin ng Boracay model na resolution. Asa si Mayor?
Presentation, they
Dito
want
si
to
Mayor
present
Cagas
it.
ng Digos, Mayor, saan si Mayor ng Kinapawan? Si Mayor ng Kinapawan. Mayor, narinig nyo yung sinabi ni attorney na mayroong resolution? Baka pwede rin kayong, para ma-empower ninyo yung pati national agencies na ma-preserve yung ating lugar. Baka, yes, ma'am.
I think the provincial will like to make a presentation.
Ayos ma'am, dito ba si Gobernador?
Can we ask her to make the presentation?
Madam Chair, good morning. I've decided to furnish the committee with a statement that I've been prepared to save time as there are other issues to be tackled. Most of the matter have already been said and also in my statement. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Can you give your presentation if you're not willing to make it? Give us a copy of your presentation.
Yes, ma'am, I will.
Madam Chair, with your indulgence, Madam Chair, if I may be excused, there is a full cabinet meeting this afternoon. I have to head to one. Thank you, Madam Chair. And certainly, Madam Chair, all the different advices and guidance will be taken very seriously by this administration. We are here, and in fact, to actually present a position paper as to how we can strengthen the protection capacity of the DNR, including such measures as demolition summarily. I also wish to thank Senator Bato for coming with us yesterday to Kapatagan because it really needs to be established that this area is established as a settlement and barangay area by law. It's a township already long before the INAIPAS Act. So we have to contend, of course, with that particular
So why did
reality.
we include that in the protected area? What's the reason? If it's really a town already.
But Madam Chair, it's only a portion of the large area of the Mount Apo.
Almost one half of the entire area.
If I may turn over to ASEC Mars Amaro of Biodiversity, with your indulgence, Madam Chair, if I may be excused.
Okay,
That's fine. Thank you po.
Recognize ASEC Amaro.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Your Honor, and with the indulgence of the Secretary. If I got it right, the query is what to do with the settlements that are in the PA? Tama po ba?
Ang tanong ni Madam Chairman, bakit natin pinapa-declare na protected area na alam naman pala natin na marami ng tao na nakatira doon. Yung nga, para bang it defeats the purpose of declaring it as a protected area na hindi naman natin ma-protect dahil nagkalat na ang tao doon. Matagal na nakatira ang mga tao doon. Parang yun ang tanong ni Madam Chair.
Siguro we will have to, thank you, Your Honor. Perhaps we should go back in time when these areas were subject to existing laws and regulations without the recognition of biodiversity conservation as a very important aspect in our day-to-day lives.
Hindi pa uso noon yung biodiversity
conservation.
Yung mga environmental protection, hindi pa uso siguro. Ang uso noon is paano mabuhay ang tao, paano makapaggamit ng natural resources. Yan yung trend noon.
Yes, so, and thank you, Your Honor. Because of the recognition which are not just within the national context but international at that, we are we are forced to comply with the requirement because biodiversity and with other global concerns are global in nature, and therefore we have to contribute to at least addressing them. So in the process, and the latest was in last year's 2022, where we are now required to provide for a bigger areas as target to be declared for protected areas in both terrestrial and marine. So that's the challenge because we're not starting with zero virgin nature of these areas.
Are you issuing ECC? Kung may hindi na sinunod, bakit dinagdagan nyo pa yung but why did you issue the ECC?
Ma'am, siguro on the part, Madam Chair, on the part of ECC, if these proposed activities are within the allowable, that we call, such as in the multiple use area, which is in the law, enshrined in the law, so we subject them to the environmental impact statement system. And since we cannot just disapprove because
sa amin na lalagyan ng reclamation alam nyo mamamatay yung mga mangrove namin at babaha kami. But in-issue nyo rin yung ECC doon. Oh. Di kasali kayo.
Ma'am, can we go to the process, ma'am?
Sabi na in-issue nyo yung ECC dahil kailangan. Hindi kailangan yun. Sana kayo, nahiwalay kayo sa kalokohan. Kung ang local government nag-issue ng PAMBI because there are local government, kayo nagmatigas kasi kayo ang DNR. Bakit kayo nag-i-issue?
Ma'am, yeah, ganun nga po, ma'am. So, in the process, because these are allowed under other laws, and because of the reality on the ground, we subject them to the environmental impact statement system.
Yeah, pero Asek,
yes,
kasi at the moment, ang dating sa aming lahat, on paper lang tong konsepto ng protection. Walang actual implementation. It's just parang on paper na declared siyang protected pero hindi talaga siya protected.
And siguro on a personal note, Madam Senator, I've been just over 1 year as BMB concurrent director.
Naman yan reason, blue. Yun ang
hindi
tama,
po on paper lang, ma'am.
Nyo. Ako, I can understand, nag-issue ng PAMBI kasi may mga local government doon. But yung ECC, purely DNR yan. Ba't kayo nag-issue na ECC?
First reality check is through the PAMBI.
Oh.
Madam Chair, may I be acknowledged?
Senator Legarda.
Thank you very much, Senator Villar, for conducting this hearing, and thank you to everyone present here today. Mula po sa simula ay nandito po ako nakikinig sa inyong lahat. Simple lang po ang katanungan at tama po ang aking makasamahan sa sinabi. Ginawa po natin yung batas para proteksyonan. Ayon sa ating batas, ang PAMBI, ang Protected Area Management Bureau, na ang head po ng bawat PAMBI ay yung Regional Executive Director ng DNR, siya po ang chairman. Sa ilalim po ng RED, nandyan po yung Regional Director ng MGB, Mines and Geosciences ng region, at sa ilalim din ng RED ay yung EMB ng region, Environment Management Bureau. Maliban syempre sa Central, sa Maynila. Ang mga miyembro ng PAMBI ay samut-sari na nakasaad po sa batas. Ang mga PAMBI po ang siyang nagtatalaga kung ang ating tinalaga na protected area ay magiging multiple use zone at strict protection. Sa aking pagkaalam ay dalawa, sinimplehan na lang nila, multiple use. So, ang multiple use po na ito, agrikultura, tama Senator Villar, okay yan. Hindi dapat may mga settlements o mga negosyo na sinisira yung aming konsepto na sabi ni Senator Binay sa protection nga ng protected area. Kaya nakaka-shock na, let's say, yung sinabi niyong dineklara na multiple use, mamaya tatalakayin, ng Bohol ay 97% multiple use. Ngayon, tinatalakay niyo ang Davao, ang Mount Apo, na ang dami rin mga seeming violations. So, wag pong pasa-pasa. 1 year pa lang po ako. Bago pa po ako. Kasi madali po Tingnan lang yung petsa na tinayo yung settlement, yung resort, kung ano man, at kung sino ang chair ng PAMBI noon, ayun yung Regional Executive Director ng DNR na sigurado ako nandyan pa. At yung taong yun ay dapat kaya niyang sagutin. Maliban dyan, yung pag-issue nga ng ECC, maski sabihin yung multiple use yan sa PAMBI at chair dyan ang DNR na Regional Executive Director. Sabi mo nang nakalusot at maluwag ang PAMBI, ay dapat yung pag-issue ng ECC ng EMB region ay hindi binibigay kung maluwag man ang pag-interpret ng chair ng PAMBI na DNR Regional Executive Director. And I will ask more questions when it comes to Bohol. I will leave it to my colleagues itong sa Davao. Pero yung konsepto na pinag-uusapan po natin sa Davao ay applicable sa Siargao, applicable sa lahat ng protected areas, including and especially Bohol. So, Madam Chair, may I request the DNR to state who was the Regional Executive Director, Chair of PAMBI, who issued the management plan and allowed the multiple use zones that all the settlements were granted during the time. And this question, aside from Davao, will also pertain to the Bohol protected area of the Chocolate Hills. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Can you give the names na lang?
Madam Chair.
Give the names na lang. Tinanong niya na give the names. Sino yung in charge nung bigyan niya?
The Red of Region 7 may be able to provide the answer.
Hindi, ganito po, ang tanong ko po, Madam Chair, Davao pa po ang inyong pinag-uusapan. Kasi I see the frustration of my colleagues, pinapasa-pasa po kayo, ay, bago lang ako dito, ay, hindi pa ako noon, etc. So, from Davao, punta po tayo ng Bohol, yung sa Davao, sabihin nila, sino ba yung red nung panahong yun? Ako, dediretsuhin ko na. Kaibigan ko na ng DNR, pero I want answers. Sa Bohol, sa aking pagsaliksik, ang red yata nung panahong yon ay ASEC ngayon, Gilbert Gonzales. I know Gilbert, so siguro, pag dating natin sa diskusyon ng Bohol, siya yung Regional Executive Director noon na nagbigay ng permit sa Chocolate Hills, dapat sagutin ng DNR, namely si former RED, ngayon naman ay ASEC na si Gilbert Gonzales. Tapos alamin din natin, meron din nagbigay ng isa pang let me see, yung sa Captain's Peak. Dalawa yung pumirma eh. Central Visayas Director at the time, Gilbert Gonzales. Correct me if I'm wrong. Another one is a DNR Central Visayas Director, Paquito Melicor. Ito yung July 14, 2022 na inendorso yung Captain Peaks report. Kasi pag ang tatanungin po natin, Madam Chair, yung nakaupo na sumasagot, Yusek, hindi ko po alam, sa next hearing, etc. Simple lang po, sagutin ng mga nakaupo nung panahong yun na nagbigay ng permit para matuon po natin. Ano ba yung problema ng batas o ng PAMBI o ano ba ang gaps at kailangan merong managot. Hindi pwedeng puro hearing lang. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I would like to hear from the DNR their answers to my very basic and simple queries. Thank you.
Hindi, ito yung PAMBI is Gilbert Gonzales, ECC is for Mount Apo. Chocolate Hills is ang PAMBI is Gilbert Gonzales, ang ECC is Melicor. Tapos doon sa sa Mount Apo, sino ang PAMBI? Nag-issue ng PAMBI? Ikaw rin, Gilbert? Sino ang ECC?
Wala pa ang ECC, ma'am.
So